Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get true seed from your squash plants. Now, most people think that you can just plant all your different types of squash and then save the seed from it that same year. No, it will turn out to be exactly like the fruit you picked off, but it won't, because most of the squash family, anything in the squash family, will cross-pollinate. So I have multiple different varieties in my garden. I have squash, zucchini, patty pan squash, spaghetti squash. I mean, I have a lot of different varieties, and if you don't correctly learn how to save the seeds for those, they will cross-pollinate. So I'm going to show you on my plants that already have squash and zucchini on them right now how you would need to do that, and I'm going to show you the difference between the male and the female flowers, because a lot of people don't know how to tell the difference. So let's get to it. Okay, I have a zucchini plant right here. You can obviously tell this is my fruit. I have another one right there. Okay, any flower that has fruit connected to it is the female. Okay, this is a female. And the one on the long stems, these are the males, okay? You need both, obviously, to pollinate your fruit so it will grow bigger like this. See, this one's growing bigger, the flower fell off, it was pollinated correctly. Now the bees, I don't usually hand pollinate unless I want something specific, and this is what you'd have to do. You have to hand pollinate if you want to save seeds from your squash family vegetables. Let's see, let's go over here. I got some more in here, they're hiding. See? Alright, so I'm going to show you what you would need to do, okay? So you see how this one is already been pollinated. I think this is my Cuba butter squash. Already been pollinated. It's getting bigger. You would need to get or find a female one that hasn't opened yet, okay? Don't know if this one's opened. I don't think it's opened yet. But what you would need to do is you would need to find it when they're really tiny like this. You see this? See how this flower hasn't opened at all? You would need to get a rubber band, put a rubber band on this end to keep it closed. It'll still grow, but keep it closed. And then you needed to do the same thing for a male flower like this, about the same size. Put a rubber band right here so they don't open, and it'll still grow. And when it's big and it's ready to open, like this one, it's getting ready to open, you would open them yourselves, okay? Now the female you would be very careful with, okay? But the male you would take off, and I'm going to take off one of these to show you, because this one's already past its prime. What you would do for the male is, when it's time, you can take the whole male off. You don't need to leave it on the plant. The female you need to leave on there, okay? You would need to open it like this. See how I'm ripping it away? This is what you want, okay? Trying to get it to focus. It's doing what it wants, okay? This part you would take and you would put inside the female flower and just rub it around inside. That is the only way that and it needs to be from the exact same plant, okay? So if you wanted it a true seed, you want it exactly the same as you had right here, that's with no cross-pollination. Remember, you would put the rubber bands on the male and female, and when it's time, you would open this up gently, okay? Open it up. You keep pulling it, and you leave it. You're not going to pull the whole flower off, but you would take your male part and then stick it in there and rub it around at the very back, and then close the flower on the female back up. Put a rubber band around it so no bees, nothing else can pollinate this. And then you would need to mark this somehow. You could put a stake in the ground. You could put another rubber band near the end, or you could, because you're saving it for seed, use a marker on the outside of the skin to say this is the one I'm going to save seeds from, because I know I pollinated it from the exact same plant, so it's not crossing, okay? And usually it sends out a ton of male flowers, so if you wanted to make sure one would open in time, just do 2 of them. Put 2 of them with rubber bands, a couple of the females with rubber bands, okay? Because those 2 are going to probably open up at the same time. So if I wanted to, I could go get rubber bands and put them on the edges so nothing, the bees don't get in there, and then mark it, and you know you have true fruit, and when you save those seeds for next year, that it will be the same fruit, and it won't be a cross, because sometimes when you get crosses, they're not good, trust me. I just want to show you guys my squash and zucchini, and I think there's some patty pan squash in here, maybe a blue Hubbard at the end. But last year I could not get my zucchini and squash to grow for the life of me. I fought bugs and more bugs. And this year I've not seen one, knock on some wood, yet, but I know I will. But I planted these before Mother's Day. And most people say not to do that in the South. You have to wait until after Mother's Day. But when I did it last year, I had so many troubles with bugs. This year, I'm getting fruit finally. And I've not had any problems with bugs. So I think I'm going to do that every year. But I just want you to look how monstrous these are. These were so tiny like 2 weeks ago. And now they are out of control big. I mean, look at the leaf on this thing. It's huge. Look at my hand. But I am getting a lot of fruit off them. You can obviously see that one was the cube of butter. The same thing with these patty pan squash. See them? I think these are the Peter Pan ones. If you wanted to save seeds from these, you do the exact same thing as the other ones. Aren't they so cute? I feel like I'm treasure hunting. Some zucchini. See, right here, see how I have this zucchini right here? I have another variety of zucchini. That's the spider web right there. So these would cross, and I mean, it would still be zucchini, but it may not be the exact same as what I planted. But I could save seeds from each of these, which I might do, and plant them next year and show you guys. This one doesn't have anything. Sometimes you just have a ton of male flowers. Oh, there's a female. It's hiding. See right here, same thing. I think this is butternut. This is butternut. I have a spaghetti squash and a butternut in here. And I don't remember what else was in here. So I guess it will be a surprise when it actually comes in. Same thing goes for this. I think this is a pumpkin. Pretty sure it's pumpkin. There's the female. There's all the males. Now I had a cross before. I think it was a cross between a spaghetti squash and a pumpkin, because they can cross. They're in the same family. It was not good. Texture was yucky. It wasn't good. Same thing with your butternut squash. Any in that family, they can all cross, but some people say, oh, I had a cross and it was good. They don't always turn out that way. So that is the only way to save seeds for a true seed for whatever you're growing, squash, zucchini, etc. But super easy, male, female flowers, close them up, and then mark it off and leave it on there, and then let that, to save seeds for a squash, you have to let them go for a really long time until they get really, really big, and then you can see the ridges or the spines in it. It's really hard, so you don't pull those off for a long time. But it's great if you want to save seeds for next year, if you have heirloom plants or things you grew yourself. Now, sometimes tomatoes can cross. Most of my tomatoes do pretty good. They stay pretty true to form, because I don't ever do that for my tomatoes. Now, I have had tomatoes cross before. I had like a medium tomato and like a cherry cross, but it was really good. So most of the tomatoes don't matter. When they have a cross, they taste pretty good, but squashes, they don't always turn out how you want them to be. So super easy. That's the only way to do it. If you don't do that and you just let the bees pollinate them, you're gonna have cross-pollination. You might end up with a Frankenstein squash, who knows. All right guys, see, super easy for true seeds for the squash family. Just make sure that if you do want to save seeds, it's super easy. You just have to remember to come out and check them every single day to make sure see if they're ready. But not hard at all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.